everybody, and welcome to another weekly update video. So it's Friday this week and we actually do have some Azure news to talk about. So one of the things that I noticed has when available, and I think it's in preview still, but we now have the ability to take things that are happening within Azure Security Center and then trigger something. So triggering like a logic app that then kicks off something. So if a recommendation or an alert hits the Azure Security Center, you can actually set so that there's a workflow that happens. So, you know, a logic app could then fire off something that could happen. I don't know what that could be. Something like, you know, a port is open. So say port 3389 is open on one of your virtual machines and you don't want that. You could have that logic app maybe kicking off, stopping that port from being open. I've literally just seen about it like about 5 minutes before this video. I recorded this video, so it's something that I'm going to have a wee look at and dig into and see where the use cases are and what we could do with it. So stay tuned for a blog post or a video or something around that in the next week or so, because I think that's actually pretty cool, and being able to automate some of those tasks and try and reduce some of the things that we have to do manually, it would be pretty cool. And combining Azure Security Center with logic apps, it is a great use case, I think. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about as well is the ability to actually update custom images within your virtual machine scale sets. So I do have the blog here that's telling me about it, so I'm just going to read a bit from it. But what it now allows you to do is actually deploy new versions of your custom images to scale sets for your virtual machines. So if you're using a custom image for your virtual machines in Azure and you have a scale set and then you want to update that custom image, whether it be you know, a new version of software, or you know, applying patches, or I don't know, whatever you want to do with that custom image, you now have the ability to actually update that scale set automatically with your image upgrades. And I think, again, that's still in preview, but what I'm going to do is, again, have another wee look at that and potentially have some kind of a blog post explaining a bit more about it. But as always, in the show notes, there'll be links so you can have a read about this and have a look at it further for your own use cases as well in your environment. So you'll notice today the angle and the view and how I'm positioning all my video is slightly different. Usually I try and hide the magic, so I try and hide my cameras, I try and hide my microphones as much as I can. But today I'm just trying something different. So I've got my camera up above me and I've actually got my microphone here a bit closer to me and in the shot. I don't know what I prefer, to be honest. I don't know if I prefer that kind of newsreader style video that I've been producing for the last 30 odd weeks where you don't see any of my kit, or if I like this because it's a bit more realistic, because we all know I'm using a webcam and, you know, a microphone to try and make the sound quality better. I don't know. Let me know. What do you prefer? Do you prefer the more realistic shot with, you know, the microphone in the picture, or do you prefer that kind of newsreader style video? I'd love to know about that. So in terms of this week, I've actually been really productive, to be honest, despite the current lockdown situation and, you know, the pandemic that's kind of going on in the world at the moment. So I had Friday and Monday off, so I had like a 4-day weekend, which would usually be amazing, and we had amazing weather here in Scotland. But obviously with the lockdown, I was at home and couldn't really go anywhere. I stayed local and did some walks locally, but couldn't really go anywhere and explore anything or catch up with friends and family. But you know what? It was actually really good. It was really good to switch off for those 4 days and just concentrate on chores around the house, relaxing, taking care of myself. And I actually came back, I was champing at the bit to come back to work on Tuesday and get started, because I found my motivation again. I'd recharged my batteries and I was raring to go. And to be honest, Tuesday morning was massively productive. I think I've got 3 or 4 blog posts lined up and written, and I've got a video that I edited, went live. I did all that stuff before like lunchtime on Tuesday, and the motivation has definitely continued throughout the week. But I think it just highlights how important it is, even in the current situation, that taking time away, looking after yourself, doing whatever you need to do to recharge your batteries is okay. It's, you know, that's still acceptable. Those rules still apply in the current situation. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to, I'm looking forward to my weekend, so my Saturday and Sunday this week, and then coming back on Monday, and hopefully I'll still be motivated and still get through a lot of work. So you'll notice that I'm wearing like my GitHub kind of merchandise at the moment, and that's kind of to inspire me, because I'm looking at something that's a little bit outside my comfort zone, and something that I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but I'm going to give it a try. And yeah, I'm wearing my GitHub stuff to try and inspire me, because I'm kind of looking at code. So I've done a lot around Azure DevOps and pipelines and releases, and kind of using that platform to build my artifacts and build my website and then release it to my Azure web app. And I've got blog posts on that. Again, I'll put them in the show notes. But someone said to me, why are you not doing that through a command line interface? Why are you using the GUI? And I'll be honest, I didn't even know there was an Azure DevOps CLI. I didn't know there was command lines to do some of this stuff through command lines. So I've kind of set my task of having a look if I can recreate what I did in the GUI versus in this command line interface. So that's what I'm kind of doing. Yesterday I spent a good couple of hours just mashing the keyboard and reading some documentation and getting a good start on what it is and how it works. So I want to spend some time today having a look at that again and seeing how I can actually do it, and whether I can actually achieve the same things I did in the GUI in the command line interface. So hopefully there'll be a blog post with that, or there'll be a blog post about the frustrations that I've met with that tooling. But I think it'll be a valuable exercise, A, from learning about me, and B, from actually finding out more about our products and being able to feedback something, because I'm not the typical person that would be using that. I'm an IT pro. Coding and DevOps isn't something that comes naturally to me. So I think it'd be really good feedback for our teams to figure out where our holes in our documentation and where we need to improve our documentation as well. So that's something I'm kind of working on as well. I've also had great chats this week. I had a podcast interview with Lisa Clark, and I'm hoping that was a really good fun chat. We we probably could have talked for hours, to be honest. Lisa's somebody I've known for a few years, and I've met in person a few times, and we've had some chats as well online. So it was really good fun. It was just really chilled, and we're just talking about kind of what my job is right now, some of the STEM stuff that I do, and the pandemic and how it's affecting both of us. So that'll be a fun one to come out, and I'll share that once Lisa releases that. And this afternoon I've got another interview for another podcast. So I'm still keeping busy, still trying to do what I usually would be doing despite the pandemic, but also making sure I'm taking care of myself and not working long hours and just giving in to that temptation just to keep working because I'm at home and there's nothing else going on, so to speak. So that's definitely something that I'm trying to be mindful of as well. So I know a lot of people are running virtual user group meetups or conferences and stuff, and a lot of them are running at night, and I've seen a few running at weekends as well, which is amazing. Well done to everybody working in the background to make all that community stuff still work away. Like I said, I'm avoiding the temptation just to constantly work, to be honest. So I'm avoiding as many late nights presenting at user groups and conferences at the weekend as I can. So if you've reached out to me and asked me to, submit a session to any of that, thank you for asking me, and apologies if I've said no. It's definitely not personal. It's more about me and my self-care at the moment, and trying to dedicate the time where I can to work and where I can to my personal life, and making sure I'm getting some kind of balance going on at the moment. So that's where I'm at the moment. So anyway, thank you for tuning in today. Hope you all have a good weekend and you manage to recharge your batteries or do whatever you need to do to make yourself happy at the moment. And I'll catch you next week.